In this tutorial, I will teach you how to make a baby carrot. You don't have to just make a baby carrot. If you have other yarn colors, you could make any root veggie that you would like. Here are some examples of the different colors that you can use to create different root veggies. Before you start, please note that this pattern uses US terminology. This pattern is also available on my Etsy store if you prefer a written PDF pattern. The link to my Etsy is in the description below this video. Please do not copy, repost, or claim this pattern as your own. I do not give permission to repost this pattern or translate it. You are more than welcome to sell the finished product. I just ask that you credit me and provide the link to the pattern when you sell the finished product online. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below the video in the comments section, reach out to me on Instagram, or email me at the email that you see on screen. This pattern uses the following terminology and abbreviations. Make sure you're familiar with them before you begin the pattern. On screen is the list of materials and tools that I use to make this plushie. The first thing we'll make is the stem, so we're going to start in green. Start by taking your yarn and creating a slip knot. Now we're going to chain 2 and make 6 single crochets in the second chain from the hook. If you're unfamiliar with a single crochet, all you need to do is insert your hook in the indicated stitch, yarn over and pull up a loop. At this point you should have 2 loops on your hook, then you yarn over one more time and pull through both loops on your hook. That is how you make a single crochet. At the end of round 1, you should have 6 stitches. For round 2, we're going to make an increase in every stitch of the round previous. So there will be 6 increases, making 12 stitches total at the end of this round. An increase is simply 2 single crochets into the same stitch. In rounds 3 and 4, we're just going to put a single crochet in every stitch. So you should have 2 rounds of 12 stitches at the end of this step. I'm going to skip through this part and meet you back here at round 5. In round 5, we're going to work 6 decreases into the previous round. You can either work invisible decreases as your decreases or do regular decreases. It's up to you. I will show you how to make an invisible decrease, and then I'm going to switch over to a regular decrease. To make an invisible decrease, insert your hook into the front loops of the next 2 stitches. Then yarn over and pull that yarn through both of those front loops. You'll have 2 loops on your hook, and then you're going to yarn over and pull your yarn through both of those loops on your hook. Now I'm going to undo my work and show you how to do a regular decrease, which is easier for beginners. Insert your hook into one stitch and then yarn over and pull up a loop. Then insert your hook into the next stitch and yarn over and pull up a loop. You should have 3 loops on your hook. Then yarn over and pull through all 3 loops to create a decrease. Once you finish this round, make sure you stuff the area that you created. In round 6, we're going to create 2 small leaves. To do this, we're going to start by making 2 single crochets. Next, we're going to chain 6. Then starting from the second chain from the hook, we're going to single crochet 5 times back down the hook. So starting in that second chain, we're going to single crochet. And then we're going to single crochet 4 more times into the chains. Once we get to the bottom of the chain, we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. Now we're going to repeat what we just did again, starting with 2 single crochets. Now we're going to chain 6. And now starting from the second chain of the hook, we're going to single crochet 5 back down that chain. Now we're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. As you can see here, at the end of this row you should have 6 stitches and 2 small leaves. Now we're going to switch to the body color. So undo part of that stitch. You should just have 2 loops on your hook from the last stitch, and we're going to cut off that yarn. Now with your body color yarn, finish that last slip stitch by pulling that yarn through, and then pull the green tail that we cut tight as well as the new body color tight. Then grab both of those yarn tails and tie them together to secure that color change. Don't worry about cutting these yarn tails short because you can just stuff them inside of the stem. For round 7, we're going to increase into the next 2 stitches. Then you're going to increase into the base of that small leaf that we just made, the beginning of that chain. Next, skip the slip stitch and increase into the next 2 stitches. Now we're going to increase into the base of that small leaf again, into that first chain. To finish this row off, we're going to skip this last slip stitch, and you should end the round with 12 stitches total. In round 8, we're going to single crochet into 2 stitches and then increase into the 3rd stitch. We're going to repeat this pattern 4 times to make 16 stitches. That was the end of the first repeat. So you can see I have 2 single crochet and then an increase here. We're going to repeat that pattern the whole way around until we have 16 stitches. In round 9, we're going to do a similar repeat, except this time there will be 3 single crochet and then an increase. So let's start by doing our 3 single crochet, and then we're going to increase. And we're going to repeat this 4 times the whole way around the round to get 20 stitches at the end of the round. In round 10, we're just going to do 20 single crochet in this round. So no increases, no decreases, just single crochets in each stitch to make 20 stitches at the end of the round. And I will meet you back here at the start of round 11. In round 11, we're going to create the arms of our root veggie. So let's start by creating 9 single crochet. Now we're going to create a bobble stitch. To do this, yarn over and insert your hook into the next stitch. Then yarn over and pull up a loop so that you have 3 loops on your hook. Then yarn over and pull through 2 of those loops. You should now have 2 loops on your hook. We're going to repeat this step until we have 5 loops on our hook. This stitch essentially creates 4 unfinished double crochets, and then we finish them off by linking them together. Once we have 5 loops on our hook, we're going to yarn over and pull through all 5 of those loops. This creates the bobble stitch. Now we have to make 5 more single crochets. Now we're going to make another bobble stitch in the next stitch. Just remember, before you finish your bobble stitch, you should have 5 loops on your hook. Now we're going to make 4 more single crochets to finish off the row. Now we're going to add the eyes. So pull up a long loop or put a stitch marker in the loop so that it doesn't come undone. This is what your root veggie should look like now. Here I'm using my scissors to push in part of the bobble stitch that is sticking out just so that it gets tucked in a little more. Now it's time to add the eyes. You should place the eyes between rounds 10 and 11, just above the bobbles. We just finished round 11 for reference. Make sure that your eyes are 2 visible stitches apart. As you can see here, there's 2 visible stitches in between the eyes. That's what we're looking for. Next, let's pop the washers onto the backs of the safety eyes to make sure they don't budge. Next, we're going to begin stuffing the body. Make sure that when you're stuffing, you push some of the stuffing into the stem where we didn't finish stuffing, so that it fills the stem all the way to the bottom, where we changed colors and started the body. In round 12, we're going to make 2 single crochets and then a decrease. We're going to repeat this pattern 5 times around the round to make 15 stitches. To work into the bobbles, just make sure you push the bobble down so you can see the tops of the stitches. Once you get to the second bobble, you should have to work a decrease into the bobble and the stitch before it. This is what your work should look like after round 12. For round 13, we're just going to put a single crochet in each stitch. We should finish the round with 15 stitches total. I'm going to meet you back here at the start of round 14. Before I start round 14, I'm pulling up a long loop so that I can take a break to stuff my root veggie a little bit more. I like to stuff my plushies as I go, so every couple of rounds I will top off my stuffing. In the next round, we're going to be creating the leg bobbles. We're going to start off by single crocheting 8. Once you single crochet 8, you should be just inside the arm bobble, and we're going to place a bobble here. If your tension is different than mine, you might have to switch the place where you put your bobble stitch in, but that's completely fine. Just make sure that it's inside of the arm bobble. Now I'm going to single crochet 2 more stitches. Now I should just be on the inside of the second bobble, and that's where we're going to place our second leg bobble. After this, there should be 3 stitches left over that we're just going to single crochet into. This is what your little root veggie should look like now, and we're going to top him off with a little bit more stuffing before we finish him off. For our final round, we're going to decrease 7 times, and then we're going to slip stitch into the last stitch in the round. Now you can fasten off and sew the hole closed. With your yarn needle attached to your tail, sew through the front loops of your last row and cinch the hole closed. Make sure you pull your yarn gently so it doesn't break, and then tie it off with a knot. Once the knot is secured, you can thread your needle through to another spot in the plushie and pull it through. Cut your yarn, and then use your scissors to gently push the yarn tail into the inside of the plushie. Now your little root veggie guy is finished. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and feel free to comment down below if you have any questions or comments about the pattern. Alternatively, you can also email me at the email that appears on screen right now if you have any questions or concerns about the pattern. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!